Wow. I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
Well, I've been buried in about a foot of snow. We
shit.
got, yeah. So we got, week before last, we got like 8 inches overnight. And then like 3 days later, we got another 3 inches. And then it was supposed to not snow again. And it snowed a little bit yesterday, but it wasn't anything exciting.
But you guys don't cancel school. You just go to school, right?
No, they did. We did get a snow day and then a couple of like 2-hour delays. And then we did an e-learning day because they said they were short on bus drivers and the temperature, because the temperature was like negatives. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I'm like, oh, okay. So we've been just kind of hanging out and watching TV and not really doing a whole lot, which is fine. And I was watching this show and I'd never seen it before. I didn't know what was going to come up. And this like sex scene happened and Cordelia's like, she's like watching her iPad and goofing off and, it wasn't anything like really inappropriate, but, I was like, you can't watch this. They're doing sexy time. And
oh no. Did you think about this before you said it?
No, nope. No, I don't do. Okay. How long have we been talking? Do you really think I ever think
you
about?
have no filter.
Okay. I thought we met before. Anyways. So, yeah. And then she's like, well, do you and Daddy do sexy time?
Oh shit.
And I'm like, well, I was literally at a loss for words. I was like,
you know what?
I can't.
In my house, the honest answer is no. So I would have been fine if I had been.
I was like, well, so I was like, yeah, it's kind of a personal question, honey. I'm trying to like deflect all over the place, right?
Oh, no.
And she's like, but Mom, I have to know. Do you and Daddy do sexy time? Just tell me, please. Like begging me to tell her. I was like, no, I'm not. This is not a discussion we're having. And I'm done now. So she hasn't brought it up since, but I have a feeling it's going to be one of those things where like out of the blue, she's going to blurt it out at like some,
That's cool.
Kid's birthday party and like, oh, do you and your mommy and daddy do sexy time? Oh my God.
Yeah. You know what? My kids, they don't say a lot at school, but when they do, they go hard.
It's like all out.
Yeah. And the classic one for preschool, I think Kari must have been 4. She told everyone at school that I don't wear underwear to bed. All the teachers.
Really?
Really?
Wow. She's just
I do now.
You've
so
learned
she won't tell anybody that I don't now.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
They don't.
There's no funnier comedians on this planet than our own children.
That is 1,000% true. Yeah, absolutely. She cracks me up every day.
Yeah.
So,
Kari wants to learn how to sew right now.
Oh, she does?
Me crazy. Yeah, Mom, teach me how to sew. I'm like, I don't understand what you think. I know how to sew. Where
send
did
her
you
to my mom's house. And send her to the Deborah. The Deborah will teach her how to do it.
It took me a good 48 hours to figure out what to do because I'm like, I'm not going to give you sewing needles. I'm like, but tonight we're going to go to Hobby Lobby and get an embroidery hoop and some simple embroidery patterns, and I'm going to teach her how to do like when we were kids, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
With and I think the needles are like plastic and they're sharp enough to do that, but they're not like actual needles, right?
Like she's going to really.
Yeah. So there's got to be someone's got to sell some kind of learn to sew.
Oh, there's
crafting kit.
There's all kinds of stuff like that, especially like they have these little felt like animals and dolls that you can. It really is like a plastic needle and you just sew it with the yarn and then you stuff it. They have all kinds of stuff there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So love that. Yeah. Your mom would be great, but she's a little far away from me.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just put her on an airplane. My Cordelia's like, well, when am I going to go on the airplane by myself? I'm like,
never.
What? Oh, yeah. My husband would be like, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, what are you?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
So, we were talking about it, and you can send them, depending on which airline has different rules on ages and stuff. But I think certain airlines will let them fly up to 6 years old by themselves.
Yeah.
And they're with they have a designated guardian flight attendant person, and they sit in the very back of the airplane. So they're right by the bathrooms, and they're right where but she wants to go. I'm like, I just don't know about this. So,
well, give me your numbers. Where are you at?
I'm still at 203. I have not.
Did you stall?
Yeah, totally. And I got a new vial in December. So let's see, 5-6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's from a different compounding pharmacy than my provider normally uses, because the other one wasn't doing the Tirzepatide. And so they switched to something that does the Semaglutide that I do and the Tirzepatide. I'm like, oh, whatever, dude. And I feel like I ran through that vial really fast. It wasn't as much it was supposed to be more than I was getting. So it's 3 milliliters as opposed to the 2.5. I don't know. So I got an appointment tonight to talk with them about that and see about getting another vial ordered, because I probably have maybe 2 more doses left in there, and I'm only taking 40 units. So I'm not, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe I do need to bump it up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
So, because I'm dying to get under the 200 mark. And I was like, it's only 4 more pounds and I will be at 199. I was like, that is not that much. I can do this. So
I always want to point out here, do you remember how hard it used to be to lose 4 pounds? And now you're like, it's only 4 pounds?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It would have taken me probably 2 or 3 months of going to the gym 4 times a week and counting every calorie to lose 4 pounds before.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's where I'm at. How are you?
189, but I went back up to 193. Now I'm back down to 189. So I don't know. Once everyone went back to school, it got a lot easier for me to just stick to the routine.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had some kind of interesting things, like my doctor's office, which is Johnny Franco, Austin plastic surgeon here in Austin. They have 3 offices, Burnett, Domain area, and then Westlake, and they have one in San Antonio. They're amazing. They had me come up and make a video for my testimonial, basically.
Oh, nice. That's really cool.
So
I want to see it.
It was yesterday. So in the morning I got up kind of early and I went and got my hair blown out, which is still.
Oh, I still look some balls. I love
know.
that.
I'm really happy. It makes me so happy. I kind of think maybe I should just go every couple of weeks. Just good. It's good.
Just do it.
I hate drying my hair myself.
Well, you've got a ton of hair, I can tell.
Yeah.
You've got a lot. So
hairdresser. You have hairdresser eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the afternoon I ran up there and I talked for about 20 minutes. She just asked me a bunch of questions and I rambled as I can easily do about this topic. It just went on and on and on. And it was really nice. And the fun part was last spring I bought a shirt. I'm going to tell you how much it was. It's embarrassing. I've never done this in my life. But this particular shirt was something I could never have. And my best friend, her mother used to buy these shirts for her as gifts, and they were gorgeous, but they were exorbitant. They're back when I started seeing her get these shirts, they were $200, and now they're $300 for one shirt, right?
Oh my God.
Okay. So in March, I was in Las
Holy shit.
Vegas and I was wandering around by myself. And here was their Anne Fontaine is the brand.
Mm-hmm.
And I wandered into the Anne Fontaine store. And for the first time in 20 years, I was like, I think I could fit in the shirt. And so I tried on the one that I wanted is just a black button down with French cuffs, gorgeous shirt. And it's cut really beautifully. Like it's very feminine. It doesn't look boxy like most button downs do. And it was a little snug, but I was feeling really optimistic. And so I bought it. And I still haven't worn it until yesterday. I wore it for the beauty.
Oh, nice. Oh, I can't wait to see it.
It is a gorgeous shirt. And so I make it because fits so perfectly now. I might look on eBay for another one.
Yes.
Yeah, Anne Fontaine, gorgeous.
Yeah, Fontaine.
Absolutely.
I'll have to look that up. I have not heard of that brand.
I used to like put it on. I put a picture of the shirt on my mirror 10 years ago because I was trying to use it as motivation to lose
Look at your
weight.
vision board come into life.
My vision shirt.
I love it.
Mhm.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, so there was that. And then, since I worked with the stylist on my wardrobe, she opened my eyes to some other things. So I have done some really crazy things. Like I bought some loafers. I bought loafers.
No
I
shit.
wouldn't have even known how to wear loafers before. Wouldn't have occurred to me to wear loafers, buy loafers, look at
I wish
loafers.
you would come to my closet.
Yeah. And they're amazing. They're camo Rothy's and they're so cool.
Really? Oh, you gotta send me a picture.
Okay.
Yeah. Did I tell you my dad took me shopping when they were here for
No.
Christmas? Oh, yeah. So, my dad, like, bless his heart, he's such a good human. He
is.
he doesn't really ask for much, as a dad, and so, but he's like, I really want to just like go shopping with you. Like, he just wanted to treat me. And it was just the sweetest and like so most endearing. I didn't really care that like, we bought anything. It was just like going to the mall, going to Nordstrom and Christmas time and all of the lights. And I'll have to send you the selfie we took. So cute. But he wanted to buy me like a nice coat. And he bought me this. So we looked all around Nordstrom. We didn't really find anything that I was like, oh, I have to have this. Like the color wasn't right or the cut wasn't right. And he's like, well, let me show you the one I found online that I think you'd really like. I'm like, okay. And it's this beautiful, like perfect, true red wool coat. And it's stunning. And the lady's like, well, if you want, I can order it for you and you can come pick it up. And I was like, okay, well, I was worried about the size because what size do I get, And I ended up ordering the 16. And it fit great. It's just beautiful. I'll have to send you photos. It's really pretty. And it's wool, but it doesn't have a lining. So it's really lightweight, but it's super warm because it's like 82% wool. And thank God we got it on sale because the full price would have just been like astronomical. But
yeah.
And then we went and did a little more shopping and we went to Free People and he bought me.
Yeah. Did you use your gift card?
I never got a gift card.
Are you serious?
No, I never got it. I thought, yeah, because I told you, I was like, I never got an email.
Oh, I definitely got them to clear it.
Weird.
Oh, thank you for telling me. I'll figure out where it went.
I was going to ask you about that because I just got so distracted with everything else. But I'll go back again, trust me. I don't mind. But yeah, so we went to Free People. I got a real pretty, like, flowy kimono top thing. And then we went to the MAC store and I bought makeup. And yeah, we had a great time. So it was nice to feel like, okay, I can go shopping. And it's like, not being so worried that stuff's not going to fit or that I'm not going to, like, find anything that I like that's in my size.
Mm-hmm.
So
it is fun. It's a huge mental shift and it takes a long time. I'm still just in it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I have an email right here that says the gift card was successfully sent.
Weird.
If I hadn't put a typo in your name, you totally would have received it.
You sent it to the wrong email?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, whoopsie. Did you type Gamlin with an N?
Yeah. How did you know?
Because everyone does that.
Because the N is next to the M?
Well, it sounds similar, and the M and the N are right next to each other on the keyboard, so it's a super easy mistake to make. Yeah. The last job I had to have them like redo my email because they kept spelling my name wrong. I'm like, that's not how you spell it.
Ridiculous. Okay, I'll fix it today. Well, now you have another surprise.
Yay!
Such an asshole.
Oh, stop. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what else is going on. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's just,
Oh, did you happen to see yesterday? There was another Oprah, like, kind of her reaction to taking the GLP-1 kind of piece of media that came out. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. I'll find it and I'll send it to you.
Okay.
But basically what she was saying, the big takeaway was she always blamed herself and she didn't have a clue what it was like to be a thin person until the food noise was gone. And it was another one of those, like, I'm apologizing for judging people before I knew what this really was.
Oh God, yeah, I feel that. I
Yeah.
really feel that a lot too, because I'm like, because I think about like all the things people say, well, just work out, just eat less. Like, it's not that hard. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like, well, it is.
It's just calories in, calories out.
I know, God. And you're like, okay, you don't understand me. Like, and so being somebody that didn't gain weight till later in life, like I was, thin up until, God, I don't know, 20s. Anyways, so, I just couldn't relate. And so, but now I get it. Now I get it.
Yesterday, they asked me for a before photo, and I just gotta tell you, I'm gonna show you the zinger, the absolute barn burner of a before photo that I found yesterday.
Oh, God.
You're not get ready. Watch out. Here we go.
I'm ready. Bring it. Girl.
Can you believe that?
No.
Neither can I. It's like a different person. August of 21.
Wow.
So Ellie, you can see she's about 14 months old, and I was still nursing. And both times I had a horrible time losing when I was nursing. In fact, I was just like, I was starving all the time.
Well, yeah, because when you're nursing, you are definitely hungry all the time. Yeah. So because I kind of my birth story with Cordelia is like, that's just one whole episode by itself because it was crazy. But I ended up weighing less when I gave birth than when I was pregnant.
I remember this.
Got pregnant. Yeah. But then I ballooned afterwards because my thyroid stopped working. So then I got up to I think that the highest I ever, when I got on the scale, I think the highest I ever weighed was 268. And I remember thinking, well, I got to figure out where a cliff is and how I can jump off of it. Because
actually, I was delusional. And I will tell you, this photo was taken moments after dinner at Paula Deen's.
Of course it was.
And I can tell you that the entire time we were at Paula Deen's, I was looking around the restaurant going, look at all these fat people.
It says Eva. Oh, wow. Well, you know what they say? When you point the finger at somebody else, you got 3 fingers pointing back at yourself. So, hate to break it to you.
Good Lord.
It's crazy. Yeah, but I've done it too. I'd be like, oh, like,
yeah.
If you can hear Millie floating, she's not in her cage. She's floating around. You want to come over here?
Pretty bird.
Hey, lady. Anyhow, so yeah, we've all done it. We've all done it.
Yeah, I know.
But like, yeah, but I'm kind of to the point where I'm like, I gotta like remind myself to eat. Do you do that too?
All the time. Or
Yeah.
I'll be, like, vaguely hungry, and then I'll let another 3 hours go by.
Same. Or like
When
I'm a
it's
little bit hungry, but like nothing sounds good to eat.
Yeah, nothing. I'll walk through the kitchen 5 times and then I'll be
Yeah.
like, I'll just drink some water."
Yeah.
I had to fly to California, and actually it was really awful because it was the day after the fire started, and I flew into LAX.
No way.
And I
Oh,
wasn't
honey.
staying in LA, but it was the only way I could get there early enough to be in Newport Beach at 9 for a meeting. And so I flew into it. I
Oh,
can't even describe to you how unbelievable it was. Just that and surreal because the flight attendants didn't say a word about it. They're just like business as usual. And never said a word about
I'm sure they didn't want to panic people.
maybe, but um it was creepy and I will never forget it. Um
What did you see when you were there?
well, it looked like fog, but you could smell it, 20
Mhm.
minutes before we landed, you could smell it. Um
Really?
And
Oh.
it just was like a brownish fog over the whole city. When I mean, I started driving south almost immediately, so I wasn't in it for very long, but 3 days later, when I got dressed to leave and put my airport sneakers back on, they were covered in ashes. Like, I didn't even notice, until I put them on to go home. Anyway, the point is, I flew back with my actual doctor was on my flight home because he was there at the same conference I was at, so I was kinda hanging out with them, I had dinner with them, and had dinner with people on his team, which is how I ended up on this video for them. And the person who runs the wellness program for the practice was sitting next to me at dinner, and she told me his business and his capacity for work and he was already a workaholic. Like, he gets up at 3:30 in the morning and he starts working at 5, and he works until he goes to sleep. Like, he was single and hasn't had kids yet. So, he was a total workaholic. She said his business did not go boom until he lost the weight because, like us, he also didn't
Mhm.
have food noise occupying his brain anymore. The engine that used to run on what am I gonna eat next, it runs on completely other stuff now.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. For sure. I'm like, because I do that where I feel like I'm not thinking about food all the time or when I'm gonna eat.
Where are we gonna go out to eat on Friday,
Mm,
Saturday?
What like my brain's like, what should we think about? Like what should we but you know what's so yeah, I can relate to that. But what's interesting is that I've gotten more so hey, I really don't like to cook. I don't want anybody to think that like I just don't. It's not my thing. But I'm getting more tolerant of it, and I don't know if that makes sense. Not I wanna say I'm not getting joy because joy is not the right word. Something less than joy, contentment, like, with preparing food and
Yeah,
making something and, like, thinking ahead because I feel like I'm so clear-minded that I'm like, "Okay, I can actually prepare something that's really good and healthy and take my time to do it without just being like, okay, well, what can I just stuff in my face really quick because, you know, I'm have an ADHD brain, I haven't eaten in 6 hours and I'm starving and I can't you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't
you're like,
like, you hit that
remember all those
wall.
you just reminded me of one of those rules, like, never go to the grocery store on an empty stomach.
Yes. Yeah, mhm, right. So, it's like because then I don't have any patience whatsoever, and when I'm hangry, like, watch the fuck out because
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
um, but, like, I've been like, let's see, what did I do? Oh, and I've been branching out on different foods that I would have never tried before, like squash.
I love squash.
Yeah, I never was really a fan, but I signed up for Misfit Market,
Oh, yeah.
and so I was like, "You know what?" And then, of course, they put stuff in your cart for you, And then you can, veto that or add whatever you want. But they put in 2 different types of squash in there. And I was like, you know what, Cammie? You're going to look up recipes for these particular types of squash and you're going to make it and you're going to eat it. And I did, and it was delicious. I was like, but I would have never tried that before because I would have been like, I don't want to waste my taste buds on something that I don't love because I'm like, it's like when you're
all the hierarchical organization of the food in your head.
Yeah, totally. It's fucking insane. So it was, in case anybody wants to know, I'll give you the little recipe that I used and what kind of squash it was and what I did. And it was like really good because it was, delicata squash. Yes. And so it's a little bit on the sweeter side. So I did, I tossed it up with, olive oil, salt, pepper, dried onion chunks, garlic, and then I roasted it in the oven. So it was like that oniony, garlicky with like the sweetness. And it was like they got a little crunchy because the little onion chunks on it. It was really great.
Recipe of the week segment, and I declare this one to be yours. And
Okay.
So if you send me the link, I'll put it in the show notes. And my recipe of the week is Grinch cookies. I do not recommend using half a bottle of green food coloring in the Grinch cookies. Your child's poop will come out bright green a good 1.5 to 2 days later. So just saying.
Perfect. Yeah.
But along with the sewing, they want to bake, and pretty soon we're going to be wearing Little House on the Prairie dresses. So I'll leave you with that. I'm not putting the Grinch cookies recipe in the show notes because it's not worth it. Don't make them and don't eat them. And then Ellie brought one to her teacher today as a gift. She handed it to Miss Lori, and Miss Lori was like, "Thank you,
honey."
I'm in the back going,
"Don't eat it." Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hysterical. Yeah, I'll send you. I used a Pinterest recipe for inspiration, but I didn't follow it. I just kind of was like, that looks good. That looks good. Toss it up. Yeah. So,
yeah,
I'll send it to you for sure.
Okay.
Yay.
Well, we're going to have the Deborah back to talk about
Deborah. Yes. I'm super excited. I actually have, my mom and I talk about so much stuff. Usually it's not about our weight. We don't, she just, I don't know. So we don't really talk about it. So I will find out with all of you guys how she's doing at the same time because I don't know. So.
Yeah, I don't either.
All right, love. Well, you enjoy the rest of your day. I
You
will
too.
chat with you next week. To all of our listeners, we love you dearly. Subscribe, message us
on YouTube. Send us love notes. We read them all.
Yep,
all
definitely. For sure.
Okay.
I know we've gotten 2. They're so great. Send more.
Follow us on Instagram at Less of You Podcast. Are you confronting the same challenges and have a story to tell? I'd love to hear your story on our Skinny Shot Stories podcast. Contact me for more details at skinnyshotstories.com. If you're a doctor and would like to learn more about sponsoring this or any of our cosmetic surgery and weight loss podcasts, go to lessofyou.com. Less of You is a production of The Axis, TAGAXIS.io.